All right, here is a list of the top 5 most highest revenue generating video games of all time. 2 separate lists, one for the arcade, one for console systems. And we're just going to run down the list because I just recorded an incredible 25-minute video which detailed every single game. And now I got to do it again because sometimes in life, you don't get what you want the first time. But if you give up, you're a pussy. And I ain't no pussy. So let's try this again. This is the definitive list of actual revenue, not adjusted for any kind of inflation, actual numbers, actual video games, the top 5 most highest revenue generating video games. That means arcade games of all time, and a separate list for the console systems, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, Sega Genesis, let's see, Neo Geo, TurboGrafx 16, how many others can I mention? Arcade 32, the Amiga Arcade 32, whatever it's called now. So we're going to start with that. I will give a little timestamp for those of you who want to jump ahead to the console, but I am going to start with the arcade because that is what I grew up with. That is what I love. And the reason why I made this list is because I was shocked to find that there were 2 video games that I thought would be on this list that are not on this list, but I'm going to give them honorable mentions. These are the top 5 highest revenue generating video games of all time in the arcade. Now, a lot of you could probably guess what the first one is. It is, in fact, Pac-Man, released in 1980 from Namco. How much money do you think Pac-Man generated in 1980? We're talking about 1980, guys. All right? We're going back 45 fucking years ago. An arcade game that you have to physically get off your ass. There was no internet. There was no cell phones. You know, you have to get someone to drive you if you're a kid, unless you want to steal a car and drive when you're 4 years old. You have to get to an arcade. You have to get somewhere, and you have to physically go in front of this machine, take 25 cents, put it into the little thingy, and play this game. That is how the revenue is generated, right? How much money do you think Pac-Man made in 1980? Guys, it is the number 1 arcade game, highest revenue generating, highest profitable game of all time. $6 billion. I'm going to say that again. Pac-Man generated in 1980 $6 billion. And like, I'm like, I can't even speak. I'm at a loss for words. Do you know what $6 billion would be if we actually did adjust for inflation in like 2025? We're talking maybe 60 billion. And that's not an exaggeration. Go back and look how much it took to make a blockbuster movie. You think it was anywhere near the billions? And by the way, this is not like, they're not counting people who, bought the game on their home system. This is from the arcade. These are people physically putting in quarters. $6 billion in 1980. That is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, number 2 on the list, I thought this would be number 1. It's actually number 2. Incredibly shocking to me. It was released in 1991 by Capcom. That's right, Street Fighter 2. So Street Fighter 2 is number 2 on the list appropriately. But how much money did that generate? All-time revenue in the arcade. Okay, physically going there and putting in quarters. $5.31 billion. Okay, that's almost $1 billion less. $1 billion less than Pac-Man, which was released 11 years earlier. Incredible. I thought Street Fighter 2 would be number 1, actually. And I thought Pac-Man would be number 3 because I thought there would be another game, which would be number 2, but it's not even on this list. So it's crazy. But that just goes to show you that you really don't know like what the hell is going on in these arcades until they actually tabulate all of the profit and generated revenue, right? So what's number 3 on the list of the highest generating revenue arcade games of all time that you have to physically go to and play? This game was released in 1978 by Taito. Okay? It made $3.8 billion in 1978. What is the name of the game? Space Invaders. Guys, Space Invaders is higher ranked than any Street Fighter game besides Street Fighter 2. It is higher ranked than any of the Mortal Kombat games, by a long shot, by the way. And it is more higher ranked than any of the games that came out around that time. I'm thinking of Frogger, Scramble, even Miss Pac-Man. It totally destroys the revenue generated by those games. Incredible. That Space Invaders is number 3 on the top 5 list of highest revenue generating arcade games of all time. Now, number 4 is an interesting one because it makes sense. I thought maybe it would be 5, but it totally makes sense that this game is on here. I don't think a lot of people will be able to guess it. It was released by Midway in 93. And no, it's not that game that you're all thinking of. It generated $2 billion in revenue. What game? NBA Jam. All right. He's on fire. NBA Jam. That one. Okay. It's like, wait a minute. Boom shakalaka. That game generated $2 billion in 1993. It is ranked number 4 on on the highest profit generating video games of all time in the arcade. It makes sense because a lot of people weren't into basketball, but they were into the play mechanics of this game. And even if you weren't into playing basketball at the time, you knew who Michael Jordan was. I mean, even if you bought his sneakers, or if you could afford his sneakers at the time, you probably didn't even know anything about him other than the fact that he was playing on the Bulls. And how'd you know that? Because everywhere you looked, in every store that you went to, even if it wasn't a store that normally would sell jerseys, you would see Jordan 23 Bulls. And so you knew everything about Michael Jordan. The funny thing is, I don't even think he was in that game, but it didn't matter because NBA Jam still had guys like Scottie Pippen, his teammate, and a bunch of other people that were highly recognizable at the time in basketball, like Charles Barkley and a lot of the Knicks players, Patrick Ewing, I could think of. It was just a really fun game to play because it looked awesome, it felt awesome, the play mechanics were great, and it had a great announcer. That guy is legendary when it comes to the voice. So number 4 on the list, NBA Jam. So what rounds out the list at number 5 as the highest generating arcade video game of all time that you have to physically go to and pay 25 cents to play this game? Now you think you know what it is, right? But you don't. You have no clue. It was released in 1981. You still don't know what game it is. It was released by Midway. Now you're really thrown off because you're like, well, we already spoke about a couple other games, and Midway in 81, you're not really going to associate it with the modern games, right? But it made $1.5 billion. Miss Pac-Man. So Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man round out the top 5. Pac-Man at number 1, Miss Pac-Man at number 5, and it generated $1.5 billion in 1981. That to me is absolutely fascinating. It's crazy because, again, just adjust for inflation. You're talking like $10 billion if it was released in 2025. That's insane. Now, if you add up all of this revenue generated for the top 5, I mean, you're like talking how many, like the largest budget that you could ever think of to make any kind of Avengers movie. And like you can make Avengers movies for the next 30 years with the amount of money that this thing generated. Here, let's see. You're talking 11, 13, 15, 16, like about $18 billion for the top 5 arcade video games of all time. And you're going to tell me that this thing fucking crashed? You guys are nuts. Now, I was shocked to see that there were 2 games on here that didn't even make the top 5. As a matter of fact, one of them didn't even make the top 10. But there is one that is just below this list, ranked at number 6, which I thought it would be maybe number 3. I thought it would be just below Street Fighter, but it wasn't. It's number 6. It was put out by Midway, $883 million. So not even $1 billion in 93. You think you know that it's Mortal Kombat, but it's not Mortal Kombat. It's Mortal Kombat 2, one of my favorite video games of all time. So you're talking Tron, Dragon's Lair, and Mortal Kombat 2. Those are my 3 top video games of all time. And you got to throw in Pac-Man because that was the first game I ever played. So I guess Pac-Man has to squeeze in there some way. Let's say that it's at the top of the list. It's separate from the list. When you talk about top 3 games, definitely Tron, Dragon's Lair, and Mortal Kombat 2. Why Mortal Kombat 2? Because it was so different from the first Mortal Kombat, which to me wasn't really that great. It was actually, it felt like an incomplete game, and it was very choppy, and it didn't look good. But Mortal Kombat 2 felt finished. It felt refined. It had better graphics. It had smoother controls. It had two fatalities per character, which is crazy because the first one only had 1. They were very easy to execute, and they were fun. That's where they added the extra stage fatalities. The first one had the pit, but this one had a ceiling fatalities, and the pit was so much better. And it had these mystery characters in the background that you can never get to. That casual players would name these fake names like Hornbuckle. No, there was never a guy named Hornbuckle, but there was a fiery green pants wearing Liu Kang in the background at the pit 2, they called it. But the stage fatalities were awesome. There was they did the pit fatality, which was I think that was also Mortal Kombat 1. And then you had the hidden stage, which was the regular pit. So you had the acid pit, which I think was the only stage fatality in the first one. And then you had the acid pit, the ceiling with the spikes that you can actually hold down on both controls to get the guy to come down. He slides down from it after you knock him into it. And the most awesome pit fatality you've ever seen in the pit 2, Mortal Kombat 2. So it makes sense to me that it's on the the top 10. I didn't think it would be number 6. I didn't think Space Invaders or Miss Pac-Man would beat it. I thought it was much more popular than that, but what the hell do I know? You learn something new every day. Well, guess what? It's one of those days. And honorable mention number 7. Now we got Mortal Kombat, which was released a year earlier, and that also generated $839 million. Now, what's interesting about this is that if you combine both of them, yeah, they made more than Miss Pac-Man, right? It didn't make more than any other game on this list. It didn't make more than NBA Jam, Space Invaders, Street Fighter 2, or Pac-Man. So you take Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat 2 two combined, it couldn't even reach the previous best. Now, part of that is because it is true that people were not going to the arcade as much because the arcade consoles were getting a lot better. I'm pretty sure at that point you're talking Sega Genesis and SNES were pretty high install rates in every single household across the nation, and it was just getting better and better, and computers were getting better, computer video games were getting better, and the home translations, especially for Mortal Kombat 2. When that came out, actually, I think it was Mortal Kombat 3. No, it was definitely Mortal Kombat 3. Mortal Kombat 3, when that came out for the PlayStation, I'm not talking about PlayStation 2, I'm talking about the original PlayStation, because I'm pretty sure that that's around the time that the PlayStation was released. When Mortal Kombat 3 came out for the PlayStation, it was almost a direct translation of everything. The only problem was that the loading time was a little bit suspect, but it wasn't bad enough to kill the game. I think that's part of the reason what killed the arcade games, even though Doc Mack from Galloping Ghost Arcade believes that it was Street Fighter 4 for some reason, which I never saw in the arcade. I completely disagree with him. I tried to do a podcast with him, but I don't think he's interested. That's fine, Doc. I still like you. And I also wanted to work at Galloping Ghost Arcade. Who knows? Maybe he'll hear this and he'll have sympathy on me and hire me, because I would love to work at Galloping Ghost Arcade. I don't even live near there. I'm willing to move to Galloping Ghost Arcade to go work there, but I digress. So if anyone knows who he is, say that Jeff the producer made a video and he's still talking about him, because I'm a bit obsessed. What can I say? But yeah, so that is the top 5 list with 2 honorable mentions for the most highest revenue generating arcade games of all time. We'll go over the list one more time. Ranked number 1, Pac-Man. Number 2, Street Fighter. 3, Space Invaders. 4, NBA Jam. 5, Miss Pac-Man. And 2 honorable mentions. One of my 3 most favorite games of all times, Mortal Kombat 2. Finalized at number 7 with Mortal Kombat. 2 honorable mentions, because I would have thought that at least Mortal Kombat 2 would be higher on that list. I thought it would be top 5. But, you know, like I said, you learn something new every day. Maybe I'll learn something new tomorrow. But let's move on to the next list, the console list. The highest generating console games of all time. Now, I'm not including portable devices, meaning your mobile phone. And I'm not including the PC, because that's not a console. That is the PC. I am talking about consoles. PlayStation, Xbox, Neo Geo, TurboGrafx 16, Genesis, SNES, everything. Everything that is a legitimate console, not a PC port, not your mobile phone. And I am also throwing in the Switch and, of course, the Wii, because, the Switch, like I said, it was sold as a portable, but really was intended to be played at home with portability. But I think it's been adapted to more of a handheld device, but we're going to keep that on the list anyway. So this is the top 5 highest revenue, highest profitable games of all time on any console, with, again, some honorable mentions. You can figure out why I'm honorably mentioning them, but this is the top 5. Number 1, I think that everyone could guess this one. I guessed this one, and I was right, finally. Right about something. Grand Theft Auto 5. How much did it generate? How about first we talk about how many units was sold? Over 200 million units. By the way, something about this list is very interesting. I am not I'm not counting for games that were included as part of a bundle. These are only games that you had to purchase. You're purchasing them directly. You made a sale. I am not counting bundles of 2 or 3 games. I'm talking about specifically you went out and you purchased Grand Theft Auto 5, and this is the only way it makes this list. So number 1 highest profit revenue generating game of all time on any console is in fact Grand Theft Auto 5. Over 200 million units sold. How much money did it generate? Over $8 billion. The most and highest revenue generating game, arcade or otherwise, of all time. Unbelievable. Absolutely fascinating. What is number 2 on the list? This to me was shocking. As a matter of fact, the rest of them are shocking to me. All right, so one of them is not shocking, but the second one on this list of the highest revenue generating console games of all time is a complete shock to me. All right, it was released on the Nintendo Switch and the Wii and many other Nintendo platforms. You think it's going to be Mario Brothers, right? Okay, well, first I'm going to tell you, it sold about 70 million units. How much revenue did it generate? Well, less than Pac-Man and Street Fighter and Space Invaders, but the just above NBA Jam in the arcade, $2.2 billion. It has to be Mario Brothers, right? No, it's Mario Kart. But which Mario Kart? The first one, second one, fifth one, seventh? No. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition, $2.2 billion, the number 2 highest generating revenue profitable game on any console of all time. Shocking to me. I would think that the original Mario Kart would be the one, because, that game is awesome, but for some reason, Mario Kart 8, maybe it's timing, maybe it's the fact that the Nintendo Switch capitalized off of it, maybe it's just the fact that they released it concomitantly with the Nintendo Wii and also the Switch. I don't know, whatever it is. You're talking 70 million units sold. Hey, good for you, Nintendo. You guys are awesome. What the hell can I say? Number 3 on the list. Now, all right, so I'm looking at the ones that are ahead of this one. I thought that the ones that were lower than this were going to be in the number 3 slot, but they're not, which is crazy. So number 3 on this list, highest profit revenue generating console game of all time, 64 million units sold, generating $1.3 billion in revenue, Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, okay, the reason why this is just an anomaly to me, it makes no sense, because I played Red Dead Redemption 2. There was a lot of hype about it, especially on these forums with these people talking about what a great game it was. And I'm like, wait a minute, it doesn't look different than any other first-person perspective game that I played. I could think of a bunch of them, but Assassin's Creed to me is better, has better stories. What else? Fallout to me is a better game. I don't know. I could think of a bunch of games that are better than Red Dead Redemption 2, but there was such an incredible hype about it. I think that people bought into the hype, and so they bought the game. And 64 million units sold, $1.3 billion. Good. I fucking applaud you, but I didn't like that game too much. I thought it was quite shit, to be honest. I didn't like it that much. And I didn't find it to be that differentiated from other games that were in a similar genre. Sorry. I'd much rather play Assassin's Creed, any version of Assassin's Creed, any day of the week over Red Dead Redemption. Cowboys, Indians, that's fine. But I just wasn't into it. And I didn't see what the fucking big deal was. I have no idea what that game... What, is there like a hidden level where there's pornography or some shit? Because I didn't get there. There was nothing new to me about the game. I guess the story was okay, but it wasn't enough for me to give a shit about. People were making a big deal about riding a horse in the snow or something like that. Shooting from a horse or whatever it was. I didn't get it. I played it. I thought it was okay, but I was like, fuck this. I'm going to go back and play Fallout. Or, like I said, Assassin's Creed was so much more awesome. And you have all these different things to choose from Assassin's Creed, different timelines. And, you get to play as Roman emperors and shit. It's fantastic. Speaking of which, even, Odyssey was one of my favorite ones. It was just really good games. Anyway, who cares? Number 3 on the list, $1.3 billion. Red Dead Redemption 2 is number 3 in the ranking of highest profitable, highest revenue generating games of all time. What's number 4? Now, this one is the one that I knew would be on this list. I thought it would be number 2. Like I said, I didn't even think Mario Kart would be that high. Maybe I thought it was going to be 5, but this is number 4 on the list. It generated $1.2 billion, so just below 100,000 less than Red Dead Redemption 2. It only sold 26.5 million units, which is very strange to me, but it is Call of Duty. Which Call of Duty? Modern Warfare 3. Fascinating. I thought Modern Warfare 2 would be the one. And I gotta be honest, I don't know which one they're talking about. Are they talking about the original Modern Warfare 3? Because that would be a shock. I'm guessing that they're talking about the new one. I don't know. I thought Call of Duty 6 was better. I thought the original Modern Warfare 3 was a lot better. I'm talking about the old one. It felt much more like an arcade game. I like Modern Warfare 3. I like the skins. I like the playability. I'm more of a COD 6 guy myself. And like I said, I'm getting into COD 7 now. I don't know. Number 4 on the list. Congratulations. Here, I'll even give you a little clap. There you go. Yeah, congratulations. Whatever. Who knows? Very weird list to me. Now, number 5. This one is like, this game, is it Fortnite? No. It's not. It's definitely not Fortnite. Is it, I don't know, one of the Street Fighter games? No, it's not that. Is it any other game you could possibly think of in your brain? No one's going to guess this. Again, this is the highest revenue generating game of all time, not included as a bundle. You have to go out and you have to buy this yourself. And, it sold 48.6 million units. So, we're talking almost double of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. It generated $1.1 billion. Again, 100,000 less than Call of Duty, just like Call of Duty generated 100,000 less than Red Dead Redemption 3. What game is it? All right, it's on the Nintendo Switch. Mario Brothers, right? Nope. Super Mario World? Nope. Mario Kart? Nope. What game is number 5 on the list of the highest revenue generating profit of all time? I verified this. I looked it up. I'm in shock. Animal Crossings, New Horizons. Okay, it's Animal Crossing, but I pluralized it because I'm in shock. Animal Crossing New Horizons is the 5th highest generating video game on the console of all time. Like almost 50 million people bought this? I don't know. Okay. I guess the Nintendo Switch has a very high install base for kids that demand that they watch animals cross the fucking road. All right. I'll take it. So you might be asking yourself, like I am, where the hell Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat? Well, I'm more into Mortal Kombat, so I gave a shit about that one. I wanted to see where it was ranked. Well, it's not even ranked top 10. No Mortal Kombat is ranked top 10 on consoles. All right. Now, we're going to see how much each of these games was sold. And I'm going to go in order of, which one sold the most, because I can't find the exact revenue that it generated for some reason. I guess because, when it first comes out, they charge you $100, and then as it drops in popularity, you can get it for $10. So that's like understandable. The way that this list is ranked, the first one makes sense, but like the way the other two are ranked doesn't make sense to me. So let's just get right into it. Mortal Kombat 11 sold 15 million units, okay, and still selling. That is the most popular Mortal Kombat game, and I don't even know where it's ranked, because if it's not on the top 10, then I didn't really care. Now, you would think Mortal Kombat 1, which just came out, would be just beneath that. No, what's just beneath that is Mortal Kombat X. So Mortal Kombat 10, that one sold over 12 million and still selling. Now we get to Mortal Kombat 1 from 2023, a couple of years ago. That to me is my favorite one. A lot of people would contest that and say that they either like X or 11. No, I think Mortal Kombat 1 is a refined version of 11, and I think that's part of the problem. It only sold, I say only, but it only sold just under 7 million units at about 6.5. So it's selling less than Mortal Kombat X. That makes sense to me because Mortal Kombat X feels like a completely different game than either Mortal Kombat 1 or Mortal Kombat 11. I think the problem with Mortal Kombat 1 are stupid people on Reddit and stupid people on forums and just stupid people in general opening their mouth, not knowing what the hell they want, because Mortal Kombat 1 gives all these idiots everything that they were bitching and moaning about from Mortal Kombat 11 that they said it was missing. And it also refines everything that people bitched and moaned about, okay? So for Mortal Kombat 11, everyone was complaining about the crypt, saying, it's too grindy, I gotta grind. And it went, okay, so what did they do when Mortal Kombat 11 was still alive and it didn't enter its death phase? They decided to just open up the crypt and give you everything to shut these people up. Okay, so you got appeased. Then people were complaining that you had 3 different types of characters that you can use within the character. What do I mean? If you wanted to play Melina, then Melina has 3 different versions of herself where she doesn't have certain moves, but she does have other moves. And so people would say, well, that doesn't make sense. I want to do the roll with the teleport, but I can only do a teleport one and I can't do the roll or vice versa. So in order to fix that, Mortal Kombat 11 didn't get rid of these 3 iterations, but what they did was they added incentives for you to do special moves, or you can acquire some of those moves, but it was something that you had to buy. So you had to acquire these coins or whatever kind of monetary system that they employed in order to get it. All right. They also complained, like, when are you going to bring back the tag teams? I never knew that was a thing, but I did see a lot of idiots on Reddit just complaining about when are we going to see the tag teams coming back, and just these other forums. And again, it was just like random people who didn't even have accounts where they looked like they were gamers. They were just complainers, like chronic complainers, which you will find mostly on Reddit anyway. It's like a cesspool of people who are chronically depressed. They're over medicated, and then they'll write a post about something saying, I don't know why my girlfriend doesn't love me. And then if you search through their history, because there's a way you can see what all these idiots post, like you'll see that, they have no job, they have no life, they still live at home, they're like in their 30s, and some of them are in their fucking, 20s, and they're just overly entitled idiots, but somehow they have enough money and enough time to play these video games to complain about them. So a little bit shocking, but they're all medicated, every single one of them, they're all on some type of deviation of Ritalin, but I digress. So these chronic complainers, for some reason, Ed Boon said, you know what, fucking, I'm just going to make a game which gives them exactly what they want, because what these idiots were also saying was that they really liked the play engine of Mortal Kombat 11, which I agree. The Mortal Kombat 11 play engine was great, but I personally wanted something new. I wanted a brand new version of Mortal Kombat, just like they did between Mortal Kombat X and 11. Completely different play engine, right? So Mortal Kombat 1 comes out. It looks awesome, I think, when I'm looking at the trailers, but I'm like, okay, this looks like Mortal Kombat 11 plus. Like, it looks like Mortal Kombat 11 Championship Edition or something like that. And it didn't really feel like a brand new game. And because it didn't feel like a brand new game when you looked at it, when you played it, you went into it saying, well, it's going to feel like Mortal Kombat 11. And it does for the most part, but they gave these idiots everything they asked for. They didn't give you a tag team, but they gave you the cameo, so it's an optional tag team member, right? They gave you a lot smoother gameplay control. They brought back the animalities. The animations are incredible. The extra characters, with the combat packs. Okay, so you got Conan the freaking Barbarian, the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of Conan the Barbarian,
million. Holy shit, I can't believe it. Jesus Christ.
Because in Mortal Kombat 11, we got the old Terminator for some reason. Well, in Mortal Kombat 1, not only do you get
Arnold Schwarzenegger finally playing Conan the Barbarian, you girly man, bitch boy. Go lift some weights, you pussy boy.
Right? They give you the T-1000 from Terminator 2, which is awesome because that's an awesome character. That's like the shapeshifter. He's like, he's like the cop guy. Awesome fatalities, awesome moves. I love it. They give you freaking Ghostface from the Scream movies. They give you Homelander from that crazy ass fucking TV show that I blocked out of my head because it's overly gay sexual, so I don't watch it. But they gave you the father from, what the hell's the name of that freaking, oh, damn, I love this cartoon. What the hell is it? The one where he comes and he kills everyone. Oh, what is the name of it? It's something with an F, right? Oh, I don't remember. Anyway, so like that guy's in it. And, I completely refuse to look, right? So, they bring back Noob Saibot. They give you, who else? Who else is in there that I really like? There's someone else. John Cena from, the hell's the name of that? Why am I blocking out? Man, old age sucks. Whatever you guys do not get fucking senile because you start doing shit like this. But anyway, John Cena's in the fucking game. Peacemaker. I always like confuse Homelander with Highlander and then Peacemaker with Pacemaker because I call him Pacemaker because he's old. It's funny. People say I look like John Cena, which is kind of funny, but we'll get to that in another video, I guess. So I digress. And so Mortal Kombat 1 gave all these idiots online everything they wanted. And look what happened. Ed Boon got rewarded with less than half the sales. So Mortal Kombat 11 sold more than Mortal Kombat X by 3 million. Mortal Kombat X sold 12 million units, still selling. Mortal Kombat 11 sold 3 million more at 15 million, still selling. And it looks like Mortal Kombat 1 is pretty much staying at a pace of, like, it's going to remain around 7 million. So right now it's like 6.5 million units sold. And again, this is across all console platforms. Unbelievable. So that's what I think the problem was. And it's not even on the top 10 list over here. Not even on the top 10. Mortal Kombat 11, X, and 1 from 2023, none of them make the top 5 list. They don't even make the top 10 list. So that is your top 5 for the highest grossing, highest profitable console games of all time. Let's go through the list one more time. Number 1, Grand Theft Auto 5, Mario Kart 8, Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 at number 4, and number 5, everyone's favorite game for some fucking reason, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Not like, I don't know, any other game that I could possibly think of. Animal Crossing? Okay. Yeah, there you go. And I guess the reason why Fortnite is not counted now, it just occurred to me it's a free game, but really it's not because you got to pay for shit. But so that kind of makes sense. I was just going by units sold. So all right. So that's why Fortnite's not up there. But I don't know. I guess it kind of makes sense because what other games really out there? So this is what this list proves to me is that there really hasn't been anything new in the console industry for the last 10 years. I mean, Grand Theft Auto, that shit was created in like the 90s. Mario Kart, also in the 90s. Red Dead Redemption, well, it's like any other freaking first person perspective game. Call of Duty, also in the 90s. And Animal Crossing, I don't know, I guess that's some sort of fever dream of some 2-year-old who wants to watch animals cross the fucking road. By the way, so that everyone knows which Animal Crossing I'm talking about, it's Animal Crossing New Horizons. I guess the next one will be called Animal Crossing Legacy. Why did the chicken cross the road? I have no idea. But anyway, so that is the top 5 console. Let's go over the arcade list one more time. These are the top 5 highest generating profit revenue video games of all time. Okay. Number 1, again, these are video games in the arcade. You have to go there, physically put in the quarter and all that shit. Okay. Number 1, Pac-Man. Number 2, Street Fighter 2. Number 3, Space Invaders. Number 4, NBA Jam. He's on fire. And number 5, Miss Pac-Man. And 2 honorable mentions. Number 6, Mortal Kombat 2, followed and rounded out at number 7 by Mortal Kombat. And once again, just for the hell of it, because I like saying the damn name of this game, the top 5 console games of all time by revenue. Number 1, Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 3, Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And number 5, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Why did the chicken cross the road? Unbelievable. I'm in shock. Are you guys in shock? If you're not in shock, then I guess you don't know how to be shocked because this list makes absolutely no sense. But I guarantee you that as of December 13, 2025, it is accurate.